Hi everyone, this is Dr. Yu. This is a video about how to change the fonts on your web page, and this is going to be, as I mentioned in class, extra credit for your project. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First off, we're going to edit the final index page that we've created here for this. So I'm going to right click on the folder or the file in the folder and go to Open With and Notepad to pull that up. Expand that. Actually, hang on a second. I just want to make sure. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font, show you how to do it. All of these instructions are on the web page, so you can go ahead and take a look and see how it is formatted. I'm going to pull up this other screen here too, so you can see where I've taken the notes. I actually just copied and pasted this right from the website here. What we're going to do is add a tag called font. And we're going to change three things about it. There are three different attributes: the face attribute, the size attribute, and the color attribute. As you can see over here, this is the face attribute, and the size attribute, and the color attribute. Okay. The color, you put any hex code in there, and it will the text will show up. The face refers to the different font. And for this, I recommend that you use any of the standard fonts that are available via that link on my page. And you'll see it when you look at the instructions. There's a set of fonts that are universally controlled on everybody's computers as standards that your computers will come with. Your operating system comes with that. So you're going to want to use something that is found on most computers. So, which one of the reasons why the default font that you see on your site is Times New Roman is because that's generally a font that's found on a lot of people's computers. Verdana is a different one. This is a web font that has been used. It's a sans serif font. If you recall, what we talked about in class earlier was that sans serif do not have the feet on the tails of the each character. So I'm going to go ahead and use Verdana. The size, the face here, which is also known as font, I'm going to use Verdana. You can also use Comic Sans, MS, Times New Roman, Arial, etc. Okay. So, and then the size over here, you can choose anything from any integer, whole integer between 1 through 7. Okay. So for this one, why don't we choose size 7 and see what that looks like? Okay. I'm going to choose one of the colors. Well, I'm going to choose a dark blue. Let's go. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a valid color. And if you recall, hex codes need to be preceded by the hashtag over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this, what I've got here. So if you notice, I've got the attribute face equals Verdana with a space, and the value of that is always inside quotes that are opened and closed. Size of the font, I'm going to choose 7 for now. And then the color is hashtag 000080. Okay, so I've copied that. Go back in here. Let's change this first paragraph over here to that font. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and right after the paragraph tag, paste this in here, and then I'm going to close it right before the closing paragraph tag because it's nested like that. Okay, so let's Control S to save it, and let's see what this looks like. Okay, I'm going to double click on this page, and you notice that number one, the color is different, the font is different, and it's gigantic. So 7 is a fairly large font. Okay, so everything else is the default. Okay, so I'm probably going to save this particular size for the headings. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my page and change it. Back to Notepad over here. So instead of putting font face, that font face there, I'm going to actually copy this and make this over here. Oops. Control V to paste it. Font. So I'm going to change this up over here. So this font size, this font tag over here, this opening one, I'm going to, instead of Verdana, I'm going to choose Georgia. It's a nice serif font. Georgia like the state. Let's bump this smaller notch. Let's say size 4. We're going to keep that same color. Or maybe let's change it to something different. Let's make up a hex code. 3ED12A. I have no idea what color that is. So let's check it out and see what happens here. Control S to save. Let's go to this web page and hit refresh. And here's what we see now. This is the text is a light green. We changed the font size to the title to something that is size 7, which is the largest. Okay, and I'm going to actually highlight this so you can see it a little bit easier. So you see the font is different than over here. Okay, then the rest is normal because we haven't touched the fonts there. Okay, so this is what we chose here is font size 4. This next line, let's choose something here that is font size 2, so you can see what that looks like. Okay, this is going to be that same blue as that title, so Control S to save. Oops. So I forgot to close that font. I need to do that. Control S to save. And refresh it. Then over here, if you notice, this looks more like a normal size at this point. Okay. So that is how you change fonts. When we start the second 9 weeks, we're going to learn something else that's going to make changing fonts a lot easier than what we've got here and a lot more up to date with the current standards that are out there. If you have any questions, make sure that you go over the video again if you need to, and see you in class. Thanks.